Hello, I'm Todd Starnes. So look, you're at Chick-fil-A with the family, and all of a sudden your 6-year-old starts pelting the other diners with chicken nuggets. What do you do? Well, to answer that question is Korie Robertson, the wife of the Duck Commander himself, Willie Robertson, and the author of a brand new book on parenting, Strong and Kind, and Other Important Character Traits Your Child Needs to Succeed. Korie, now you know what you write about because you've got, 5 kids, and you've also raised Willie.
Yes.
So you've got some experience. What's the secret to raising good kids?
Well, and that was a good scenario since we spent a lot of time at Chick-fil-A. That could happen in our family. So I think that in that situation, you just pick the child up and you leave. You decide lunch is over, we're going home.
You talk a lot about character in your book, and that's something that is definitely not politically correct terminology these days. But why is good character important to raising a child?
Well, I think that's something that we've kind of gone away from a little bit. If you ask most parents, you ask them what they want in their children, they say, I want them to be happy. Well, there's a whole lot of other things that are maybe a little bit deeper and more important for our children. Yes, we want them to be happy, but more importantly, we want them to be men and women that grow up to be men and women of good character. And here we are in the presidential election. We need a man or a woman in the White House that has good character, that has strength and kindness and gentleness and humility and all the things we talk about in the book.
And you're right. It's not just kids who need good character, but the grown-ups do too. The Republicans are going at it. They're having the big rumble in the Rockies tonight. What are some things that you think they need to be doing as far as being candidates to be good role models for American kids?
Well, I think first and foremost, we have to turn back to God. I think we have turned away from God as a country, and we are, seeing the results of that. So I think it's a turn back to God. I want to see a man or a woman in the White House that honors God, that seeks Him and seeks His wisdom. And then beyond that, even if you're not a believer, I think we can all agree that virtues such as honesty and goodness and hard work and self-control and patience and all of these values that are godly values, that are good values, are important in a presidency.
I think what we need to do is bring all of the candidates to Louisiana, and you can have do a confab or something.
I like that.
Some 101.
We'll take them. We'll feed them some crawfish and hear what they have to say.
One of the things that is, I think, an important issue, especially with this situation in South Carolina where the deputy sheriff, got caught on the video yanking the kid out of the classroom. I think lost in that story was the fact that the child disobeyed her teacher, she disobeyed the administrator, and she disobeyed the police officer. And it's as if we live in a society now where moms and dads don't want to discipline, and there really is no respect for authority. Talk about that.
It's absolutely true. We are excusing our children from bad behavior over and over again, and this was a perfect example of that. And then it's shown on the news over and over again as the policeman being the bad guy. And whether or not his decision and the way he handled it was perfect or not, this was a child who did disobey over and over and over again, had no respect for authority. And what are we teaching our kids if we excuse that?
Yeah, back when I was in school, Korie, we wouldn't have even had a police officer in the room. The principal would have yanked me out of that desk, and then I would have gotten twice as the punishment when I got home. So I think that's missing in today's world.
Exactly. I 100% agree. And, I think that we can't make excuses for our kids. We have to hold them accountable for their actions. We have to, ask them to respect adults and people in authority. And you teach that at a young age. It starts when they're 2 and 3, when they start realizing that the world doesn't actually revolve around them. As babies, it does for a little while. And then when they become about 2 or 3, they have to start realizing, okay, I have to listen to what mom and dad says.
And yet at the same time, you're being strong. There's another component to that, which is also being kind.
Absolutely. I wanted our kids, and Willie and I talked about it when our kids were little, like what are the values we wanted to instill in them, and strength and kindness were 2 of the things, because they wanted to be strong for them, because I wanted them to know who they are, to be able to withstand the hard times that come in this world, but I wanted to be kind for other people, to be compassionate and loving and gentle, and that's the things that make this world a better place.
All right, lots of parenting books out there, folks, but this is the one you need. The book is Strong and Kind and Other Important Character Traits Your Child Needs to Succeed. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Todd Starnes.